So Samsung launched the Galaxy S25 FE today. I got to spend some time with it and I have quite a few thoughts. But some people watching this are probably only concerned with knowing whether or not they should buy it. If that's you, let me just say this. This is a good phone, but you shouldn't buy it right now. As usual, the Samsung Galaxy S25 FE is pretty much a Galaxy S25 Plus that's been watered down a lot to bring the price much lower. For the record, the Galaxy S25 Plus in the United States starts at $999 for the model with 256 gigabytes of storage. The Galaxy S25 FE starts at a much lower $649, which comes with 128 gigabytes of storage. So let me start here by talking about the things that are the same across both the Galaxy S25 Plus and this new FE model. First, the design is basically the same. The Galaxy S25 FE is a 6.7-inch phone that feels just like the Galaxy S25 Plus when you hold it. It's a big phone for sure, but most Samsung fans love big phones, and I know this is kind of the ideal size for most, considering it's roomier than the Galaxy S25, but still not as massive as the S25 Ultra. It's got the same durability as the Plus model with a full IP68 rating. It has the same aluminum rails too. The glass on the front and back is a slight downgrade, with the FE having Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, which isn't quite as good as the Victus 2 on the S25 Plus, but I feel like most Samsung users won't care about this since the majority of you keep your phones in cases anyway. One other notable similarity between the two phones is the weight. Samsung made them both weigh the exact same 190 grams, which to me feels awesome. It's enough to feel premium when you hold it, but not so much that it feels bulky. Of course, the Galaxy S25 Edge is still a phone you want if you want something as light as possible, as that one's only 163 grams. The colors are also mostly the same. You've got the same navy and icy blue that we saw on the Galaxy S25 Plus, and the addition of jet black and white. Jet black was available on the Galaxy S25 Ultra as a Samsung.com exclusive, but white is new for the Galaxy S25 FE. That's not super exciting of a color, but hey, if you really wanted a classic white Galaxy S25 phone, this is now your only choice. Outside of the design, most of the power features also carry over from the Plus to the FE. The battery inside is the same 4,900 mAh cell, and it charges at the same 45 watts with a cable. It also supports the Qi 2 wireless standard with 15 watts of charging power. However, don't get your hopes up about that meaning there's a magnetic connector. Just like with the Galaxy S25 Plus, the FE model supports the charging aspects of the Qi 2 standard, but doesn't have the magnets built in. If you want to use magnetic accessories on this phone, you'll need to attach a magnetic ring or buy a case with magnets built in. Finally, Samsung has upgraded the selfie camera on the S25 FE, bringing it in line with the 12-megapixel shooter on the S25 Plus. The rear camera system hasn't changed, but I'll get to that in a bit. So okay, that's where the similarities end. The rest of the aspects of the phone are downgrades from the Galaxy S25 Plus. But before I get into those, let's first take a quick look at this video's sponsor.
This is a Dymesty AI glasses, a pair of smart glasses that look like your everyday eyewear, but pack a full-featured AI assistant inside. The frame is made of full titanium alloy combined with Dymesty's proprietary U-shaped patterned flexible hinge, which prevents pressure points on your nose and ears during long-term wear. They weigh about 35 grams, and with up to 48 hours of battery on a single charge, you rarely need to take them off. If you're searching for a pair of smart glasses that can perform tasks like taking meeting notes, performing real-time language translation, or providing automatic reminders and real-world navigation, the Dymesty AI glasses might be for you. For meeting transcriptions, it takes just a light tap. When navigating outdoors, these glasses provide turn-by-turn directions and route updates. Best of all, the Dymesty AI glasses just look and feel like regular glasses. They're premium with that full titanium frame, and subtle and comfortable too, thanks to the low-profile design and sleek temple arms. If you want a pair of AI glasses that look like regular glasses and give you all the features I mentioned, then check out the Dymesty AI glasses link in the description to find out more.
All right, so what are you losing out on with the Galaxy S25 FE over the S25 Plus? The biggest thing is the processor. With the S25 FE, you get an Exynos 2400 chipset instead of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite you'll find in the S25 Plus. Now, some of you might be thinking that this is the same processor that we saw in last year's Galaxy S24 FE. That's not totally true, as the S24 FE had a processor called the Exynos 2400E. This was a slightly underclocked version of the Exynos 2400. So what you're getting with the S25 FE is the same processor that the Galaxy S24 and S24 Plus had outside of the United States. So the big question here is why didn't Samsung put an Exynos 2500 in this phone? That processor appears in the Galaxy Z Flip 7, and it benchmarks fairly well against other phones out there right now. We asked Samsung why the S25 FE doesn't have the same processor, and it told us that it expects most people to be upgrading to this from older FE models or just older phones in general, and for them, the Exynos 2400 will be a big step up. That makes sense, I suppose, but it also makes this phone a tricky sell. Remember how at the beginning of this video, I said you should be patient about buying this. The processor is the main reason why. At $649, this phone is much cheaper than the $1,000 Galaxy S25 Plus, but both phones will probably drop in price very soon as we gear up for the holiday shopping season. If you can wait, why bother getting this for $650 and being stuck with not only last year's processor, but last year's Exynos processor, when you could probably get the Galaxy S25 Plus on sale for about the same amount? Now, I've said all that only thinking about the processor downgrade. There are so many other downgrades I haven't mentioned yet. The display is only FHD+, a drop from the QHD+ resolution of the Galaxy S25 Plus. The brightness only peaks at 1900 nits, which isn't nearly as bright as the 2600 nits of the Plus. The rear camera system is the same as one we saw on the Galaxy S24 FE, which isn't as good as the Galaxy S25 Plus's system. Most notably, in my eyes, the Galaxy S25 FE has less RAM than the S25 Plus at just 8 gigs. With all the Samsung's Galaxy AI features, 8 gigabytes of RAM seems like not enough for a phone that you're supposed to keep for up to 7 years, so that's something to keep in mind. Speaking of updates, one thing to note here is that the Galaxy S25 FE will come with One UI 8 out of the box. The Galaxy S25 series hasn't received a stable One UI 8 update yet, so this will be the first time you'll be able to access the special One UI 8 features without needing to be on a beta or buying a foldable phone. That's cool and all, but going back to my original sentiment about being patient, One UI 8 is coming to all Galaxy S25 phones sometime this month, so that's not really a perk this phone will have for long. Really, we have the same problem with the Galaxy S25 FE that we had with the Galaxy S24 FE. It cuts a ton of corners to bring the price down, but I think most Samsung fans would agree that for the number of corners cut, the price just didn't drop low enough. In my mind, this should be a $500 phone, not a $649 phone. Of course, it will be a $500 phone eventually, so I would recommend waiting if you're interested. But the smart move would be to not buy this at all and just wait for a great deal on the Galaxy S25 Plus. That will get you a much better processor, better cameras, a better build, and a better display. If you're smart about it, you could maybe even get that phone for less than the asking price of this one. All right, let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and stay tuned to AndroidAuthority.com, where we'll have a full review of the Galaxy S25 FE in the coming weeks. See you all later.